Hello and welcome back to Peaky Boardgamer. My name is Eklerakos and today I will teach you how you can play Caper Europe, designed by Unai Rubio and produced by Keymaster. The game is for 2 players exclusively, players in about half an hour, and I found the game to be really fun to play, so don't go anywhere. In the game, players are masterminds planning on sending robbery crews on 3 locations. The game is played in 6 rounds. Rounds alternate in Thieves rounds and Gear rounds. During the Thieves rounds, players only send thieves into the 3 locations. During the Gear rounds, players only equip their thieves with useful gear. Players are after victory points that will be awarded at the end of the game. Each location has a caper track with a marker, which players are trying to pull towards their side in order to win the location and the victory points that go with it. Players will also score victory points from their played thieves and gear, as well as from creating sets of stolen goods. At the end of the game, the mastermind with the most victory points will win in Caper Europe. Begin by placing the board between the 2 players. In the box you will find a stack of neutral cards and then 4 stacks of 4 city-specific cards. All stacks consist of location cards, thieves cards and gear cards. Neutral cards will be used in every game. Then you must choose any one of the city decks and add these cards to your neutral cards. The top card is a cover card which indicates the difficulty of the stack, as well as explanation for some city-specific icons. For your first games, it is recommended to use Paris. Mix the selected cities, locations, thieves and gear cards to your neutral decks. City-specific cards are distinguished by a small city icon in their front side. This will help you to find and separate them after your game and place them back into their slot. Shuffle all stacks and let's go back to the board. Place the selected city cover next to the board for easy reference. Place the gear stack in the indicated space on the board, and then do the same with the thieves cards. Take the location cards and place one of them facing upwards to the 3 indicated spaces on the board. The rest of location cards will not be used. Each location has 1 caper track. Place 1 caper marker on the middle space of each caper track. Take the 12 stolen goods tokens and after you shuffle them, place 4 in each location in the indicated spaces. Then flip all tokens facing upwards. Create a supply of 10 coins right next to the board. Place the round marker on the intro space of the round track. Each player takes 1 of these player aids and the game is now ready to start. If you like the content you're watching, please support this channel by subscribing. Oh, and hit that bell button so you get notified of all our future videos. The game is played in 6 rounds. White round spaces are Thieves rounds and players will be using cards from the Thieves deck. Green round spaces correspond to Gear rounds and players will be using Gear cards. At the start of each round, players are dealt cards equal to the number of die pips depicted in the symbol next to the round space. During each round, players will be alternating turns playing 1 card from their hand, starting with the player who is pointed by the same symbol next to the round space. So the first round of the game is a Thieves round, players are dealt 4 cards each, and the first player who takes a turn is this player. Players will be operating in the 3 board locations. Each location has 3 slots on each side meant for Thieves cards. Each player operates only on the slots of their side. So each player has 9 potential Thieves slots to place their thieves during the Thieves round. So the starting player selects 1 of their cards and then places it in an empty Thieves slot. After each placement, players should check for any instant effects that could be triggered. For now, we will ignore these effects. So after the first player places a card and triggers effects, then it's the next player's turn to select and play a card. Now players will swap their hand of cards and play will proceed again with the first player, who will place a card and trigger effects, followed by the second player who will do the same, and then players swap their cards again. Then players play another card, and so on and so forth. However, As soon as players have only one card remaining, they do not swap it. Instead, they place it in their discard pile facing upwards. This signals the end of the round and play should proceed with the next one. Now let's explain some very common symbols we'll encounter when playing a Thieves round. First of all, if the Thieves card you play has such a symbol, you gain that amount of coins from the general supply. If there are not enough coins in the supply, you take as much as you can and then you continue by stealing them from the other player. However, you have to stop taking coins from your opponent once you have an equal amount of coins. So if, for example, I had to take 2 more coins, I would only take 1 and then stop. Let's explain some more icons. First of all, illustrations depicting stars, and these can also be found in location cards, have to do with endgame scoring. So I will talk about them in our scoring example. Illustrations without a star, however, have to do with either an immediate or an ongoing effect. For each such symbol, you pull the caper marker 1 space toward you. Of course, the caper marker cannot move beyond the boundaries of the track. With this symbol, the player steals an item from the location where the card was played. The player must take the specific item type depicted on the card. The question mark, however, is wild and the player can take any item. If there is no applicable item to be stolen, then this icon has no effect. Players place all their stolen goods in this area of their hideout. Let's see now another very common symbol. It means that whenever the player plays a green card, the caper marker will be pulled by 1 space. So if another card is played, this will move again and so on and so forth. Cards with color are gear cards and we will talk about them just in a bit. The location card as well depicts a similar symbol that applies to both players when they play a blue card. Another important thing about this type of bonus is the following. When you place such a bonus into the location, you immediately gain a caper step for each green card you have played so far in the location. So now, I would immediately gain 2 caper steps and also another one every time I play a green card. In the gear rounds, the game is played in a similar way, but this time players play equipment cards on top of their thieves and not in empty spaces. After each player has played one of their cards, they swap cards as normal. And this continues until players are left with only 1 card, which they discard in their discard pile. In the gear rounds only, players have the option to discard one of their cards in their discard pile and gain a coin from the supply or their opponent, if applicable, instead of playing a card on one of their thieves. Most gear cards have a cost in coins that you must pay in advance in order to play this card and gain its benefits. So I need to be able to spend 1 coin to play this card and gain 4 coins afterwards, which is the effect of this card. Very important, each thief can hold only up to 3 gear cards. So now I cannot play any more gear cards onto that thief. Cards are played like that, one on top of the other, and you can never rearrange the order of cards. Again, in gear rounds, after playing a card, you must check and apply any immediate effects. So if, for example, I played this card here, in addition to gaining the 3 coins, I would also pull the caper marker twice, once for the chef and once from the location bonus, because I played a blue card. One of the trickiest effects in the game that we need to make clear is the use of a burning card. There are only 3 in the game. When a player plays such a card onto one of their thieves, they can burn any of the opponent's top gear cards by discarding it into the opponent's discard pile. And on top of that, certain effects on the burnt card must be reversed. There are only 3 effects that can be reversed: coins, stolen goods, and immediate caper moves. All other kind of cards may be destroyed, yes, but without reversing their effects. However, take a look at the bonus of this card here. This one protects all blue cards in this location from being burned. So my opponent can either choose this card to burn, and I will have to return one of my coins back to the supply, or if they burn my green card, I would have to move the Caper token one space away from me and also return one of my stolen goods of the specific type, which now is any type, back to an empty space of this location. If I don't have enough coins or the specific stolen good to return, or if there is no empty item slot in the location, then these specific reversals do not take place. After the end of the 6th round, there should be no cards left and players proceed with scoring. In this example, we'll keep track of the score of the bottom player. First players gain victory points from controlling locations. You have controlled the location if the corresponding Caper marker is closer to you than to your opponent. So I have controlled the art gallery and I gain 5 victory points plus another victory point from the track bonus and also 1 victory point for every green card I have played in this location, so 9 points in total. All of this scoring is only applicable to the bottom player who is controlling the location. The next location is controlled by the top player who gains 3 victory points, 0 from the track and 2 victory points for every gem item stolen, so a total of 7 victory points. In the third location, the Caper marker is right in the middle of the track, so no player gains any of the just explained bonuses. Next players score victory points from the scoring bonuses of all their played thieves, regardless whether they have won the location or not. This bonus means that the player gains 1 victory point for every played thief in that location, so the player gains 2 victory points. With this one, the player gains 1 victory point for every played blue card in the location. I have played 2 cards and I gain 2 victory points. With this bonus, you gain 4 victory points for every triplet of green, yellow and purple card in this location. I have 3 yellow cards, 3 green cards, but only 1 purple card, so only 1 triplet and I gain 4 victory points. With the last bonus, the player gains 2 victory points for every pair of a yellow card and any color card. With 3 yellow cards and plenty of other cards, I qualify for 3 pairs and gain 6 victory points. Next players score victory points from their gear scoring bonuses. I gain a single victory point from this card and another one from this card. And again with this bonus, I gain a victory point for every played blue card in this location and gain another 2 victory points, so 4 points in total. Finally, players gain victory points by creating sets with their stolen goods. A set of 3 different goods scores 9 victory points. A set of 2 different goods scores 5, and a single good scores only 2. After tallying up their scores, the player with the most victory points is the winning mastermind. If there is a tie, then the first tiebreaker is the most coins and the second tiebreaker the most stolen goods. If there is still a tie, players should play another game to determine the winner. And that was the video for Caper Europe. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to the channel if you like our content. Until next time, have fun and play more board games.